Rise and Shine Rwanda, it's Monday the 4th of May.
Coming up on today's Rise and Shine Rwanda.
We find out about the unsung heroes of the construction industry.
Blues for Fallway girls as cricket returns.
And we get marathon ready as we learn about interval running in today's Motivation Monday. Good morning, it's just after 7 o'clock in the morning and you're watching Rise and Shine Rwanda with me, Regis Isheja.
And me, Makeda Mahario. Over the next hour, we'll be bringing you all the latest news, sports, and lifestyle headlines from here in Rwanda and around the world. And of course, the Rise and Shine team are here with us in studio. It's Monday morning. It's the beginning of the month. What do you have for us in the world of business, Fidelis?
Well, clearly this month is about farmers. We should probably become farmers too. So farmers are up for big loans and they'll be exporting, potatoes to other countries around the East African region. So really, really good stuff.
Right.
Whenever I hear you say farmer, I still think of you milking that cow.
Same here.
So hopefully,
I'm working towards becoming a good farmer. So,
Okay, great.
I'm
More
up for that
reports
money.
like that. I will always be ready for that. Okay, Arnold, what about in the world of sports?
Lord, finally done with a fight of the century. Me and Regis will dive into the NBA playoffs later on and a little bit from the cricket world here in Rwanda.
Okay, nice. Well, all that and more is still to come, but first, Rise and Shine, story of the day.
They're the heart and soul of construction. There wouldn't be any of the beautiful houses we often see in this city without them. Construction engineers, they go through a lot to deliver and possibly have the most thankless job there is in construction. What do they think of their profession? What are their long-term goals and aspirations? And what's the market like here in Rwanda? Take a look.
The credit usually goes to the architect or the owner when marveling at a house. It's seldom that the very person at the heart of it all, the construction engineer, gets the praise.
Bitewe nuko baba bafite ubushobozi butusumbye twe tuba tukiri hasi ba rubanda rugufi tuba twabuze nka publicity yabasha gutuma tugera ahantu ngo tugaragare nko muri make hariya mu ruhengeri muri NPA mu kigo cya polisi ni gihe cyo gukoramo ibintu bya plombier amawese yari arimo mabinde yasenya yose nciramo amawese meza hariya mu kigo cya polisi mu ruhengeri vuga ngo nk'ubwo nari nzi ko ndi buheraho nkakomeza kumenyekana ariko muri make nuko mu mirimo mba nshoboye nk'iri ya sale yo muri ya social twese hamwe Kakiru n'abandi bantu b'abaturage ndabubakira ariko kubwo mpamvu nyine kubw'ubushobozi buke simbasha kugira entreprise ngo mbashe kumenyekana ariko mbonye cyantera inkunga nahagaragara nanjye nkaba umwenjeniyeri ugaragaza uzwi n'amahanga.
From getting all the necessary materials to estimating the cost when it comes to building houses and leading a team, construction engineers have a lot to deal with and wish they had more help.
Ni ukutagira ahantu dushobora kuba twakura inkunga ngo tugire entreprise tugire biro igaragare bajye baza badusanga ku iyi biro kuko bakugushakisha kuri telefone nta yaba itanariho icyo kiraka kikaba kiragucitse kandi ukaba utanamenya n'uwo wahamagara ngo yambaze kugira ngo nta wampamagara atambonye noneho ngo ku buryo ashobora kuma ku kazi ariko mfite nkaho mbarizwa adresse byandushaho kumfasha cyangwa kandi mfite n'ikintu gishobora kuntera inkunga.
Now, how does one go about executing a construction plan?
Bikewe rero n'ucyo wampamagariye yampamagaye nko gukora beto yo mu rugo ndaza nkamenya ko ngomba kubanza nkahasiza nka compacta narangiza nkabara amabuye agomba kuhasaswa nkabara imicanga ngomba kuhamena nkabara sima nkabara na mendevre noneho nkakumena na beto noneho uko abari kubaka inzu ndabanza nkabara gusiza ikibanza namara kubona ikibanza nkabara fondation namara kubona fondation nkabara elevation kuyizamura hano byaba ngombwa nkabara n'igisenge nkakora devi byose ku buryo nshobora kwerekana inzu yawe ubwo ikibanza kimeze gutya izahura n'amafaranga ya nayo.
In most fields having associations and unions, do construction engineers feel protected and backed professionally?
Ni ukuvuga ngo ababishoboye hari za entreprise z'abayenjeniyeri, hari koperative y'abayenjeniyeri, ariko hakagira ibintu bisabwa nkanjye mba ntaragira ubushobozi ngo mbe nkomeye nkaba ntarabasha kujya muri iyo koperative. Ariko niyo washinga biro yawe ukaba uri enjeniyeri wubakisha ufite biro yawe, nabyo byagutera inkunga noneho ukazaza kujya muri rwa rugaga rw'abayenjeniyeri bashinzwe kubakisha mu Rwanda.
Another form of artistry. Regis Isheja, Rise and Shine Rwanda.
And joining us now is Louis Rushingwanyiko, a construction engineer here in Kigali. Waramutse Louis.
Mwaramutseho.
Gira iki tubwira ku cyatumye winjira mu bijyanye no kubaka. Hari tukiri abana twakundaga umupira, abandi bagakunda umuziki, ukagenda wenda ukurikira izo nzira ukazabona icyo ushaka gukora warakuze. Ese wowe ni iki cyatumye winjira mu byo bwubatsi?
Mu bwubatsi natangiye kujya mu Bugarama muri 92 nza kujya muri entreprise yitwa Ecobase, nza gufatamo akazi nabonaga abandi bubaka, nza kuhigira ibyo kubaka, mbona rero bimfitiye akamaro ndabikomeza nkomeza kubaka kugeza ubwo 94 intambara iteye mva mu Bugarama nzi Kigali. Ngeze Kigali ntangira gukorana na Banque de l'Habitat bitaga Kese Potokeri, turakorana ku Kacyiru. Ubwo nza gukomeza gutyo nza ubwo Banque de l'Habitat hindutse Kese Potokeri hindutse Banque de l'Habitat, mpita nkomeza kwikorera ku giti cyanjye. Nkomeza rero kwitwa umunyabiraka kuko nta entreprise ndahagira ngo mbe mfite ibyangombwa, mfite entreprise nashinze ikaragara.
Aho rero niho nshaka kugira ngo tugere. Ese kuba utarashinga entreprise yawe, kuko tuganira ejo bundi dukorera reportage warambwira guti nshoboye kubona entreprise yanjye ahantu mbaririzwa nubwo telefone yanjye yavaho ukaba washobora kuza ku biro ukahansanga cyangwa wasanga umuntu nkorera. Ese ikibura niki kugira ngo ugire entreprise?
N'ubushobozi. Ikibura ni ukuvuga ngo mbonye uwantera ngo nkabona amafaranga byose nabigeraho. Nkagira entreprise yanjye, nkagira biro yanjye. Noneho umuntu wese ukeneye kubaka nkanabandi umuntu uzwi bakavuga bati Rushingwanyiko Louis entreprise iyi niyi ikorera hanaha, byarushaho ko menyekana nkabona akazi gahoraho.
Iyo umuntu aguhaye kontra wahoze ubyita ibiraka mu kanya, ese ibijyanye n'amarangi, ibijyanye na sima, ibijyanye na beton, ibijyanye n'ibintu ibyubakishwa byose kugira ngo ubibone, ese ni umuntu wabyiguriye ni wowe wabiguze?
Muri make rero tugira amasezerano atandukanye. Iyo umpaye nk'inzu yawe hari igihe uvuga uti mbarira amafaranga uzigurire, cyangwa se nkabara byose nkabigura ku giti cyanjye. Byose rero ubwo haba igihe ngusaba mendevre ukanshyikiriza ibikoresho, cyangwa se ukambwira uti mbarira byose ukabimpa nkakwereka inzu yawe uko imeze. Ko ngira abasuderi, nkagira abapentire, nkagira abubaka amakaro, nkagira n'abaelectricier. Mbese mu mirimo yanjye mfite abantu b'ibyiciro byose ku buryo nshobora kuba ngomba kukubakira inzu. Mfite abubaka amakaro tubita abakaroreri, abasiga amarangi tukabita abapentire, abakora amashanyarazi tukabita abaelectricier. Bose rabo mu biraka byanjye ndabagira.
Wahoze umbwira uti mu Ruhengeri haraho wafashije kubaka ingoro y'abapolisi, hano i Kigali Kacyiru naho hari ibyo wagiye ukora. Ese ni iki kibura? Wavuze ngo ni ubushobozi. Kugira ngo ugere kuri ubwo bushobozi birasaba iki? Ese ni publicité ngo abantu bakumenye cyane kurushaho, harabura iki?
Publicité rero ndafite inkunga, harabura ko nabona icyantera inkunga. Kuko muri NPA muri cyo kigo cya polisi twakoze ipiganwa mu guhindura ari bijyanye na plombier. Amawese yose nyavanamo, hari wari wabashije kunjyana. Hari umugabo twakoranaga witwa Mupenzi Serge, yari engineer wo hejuru akajyamo ibiraka, yigiriye hanze ubwo ncika intege. Muri make niwe washakaga ibiraka nkuko yamara nkaba umusutere tawe, ariko ubwo yamara kubona ibiraka nkabipatana nawe noneho nkakomeza nkajya mbona ibiraka nanjye nkaba mfite abakozi banjye nkoresha. Urabona ikintu cyanshyigikira kikantera inkunga, ntabwo nashinga entreprise ko mfite abantu benshi nkoresha kandi ntunze mpahira.
Urumva ari umujyi wa Kigali cyahoze ari prefecture, wumva ari umujyi wa Kigali, wumva ari guverinoma y'igihugu, wumva ari inde wagufasha kugira ngo ugere ku byo wifuza kugeraho?
Nafashwa na guverinoma, imfashije byarushaho kunezeza cyane.
ukuntu wubaka amazu ubu ngubu ese wibanda ku mazu ya habitation yonyine cyangwa se n'amashuri wayubaka ibitaro wabyubaka
nubatse iriya sare ya kese sosi hariya twese hamwe iriya Kacyiru kwa mama Bernadetta nubatse amashuri yo ku Muhumyo mu Ruhengeri nubatse ari amazu yo mu hariya bakora expo ari amadushe ari amawesa hubatse amazu ntigiye yubatse vuga ngo icyo mbonye cyose ntabwo mvuga ngo nubaka habitation nubaka iki mbese biterwa n'ikiraka mbonye
ejo bundi ruwirukera nkiko uvuga uti rushingwa nkiko iyo uvuze uti nashaka kugera kuri iki niki wifuza umurage wifuza gutanga nuko abana bawe nabo bazinjira mu by'ubwubatsi nuko wagenda ugira nabo forma kuko hari abana wenda ugenda ukorana nabo n'ibindi ese umva umurage ushaka gusigara ubuhe
nge mbona nk'umwana wanjye w'imfura ngubu muri make ashobora kugenda nawe agakora nk'ibyo nkora akaba yagenda agapataninza akayubaka
niwe wabyigiye
kuri jye n'ubundi wa kabiri nkurikira umukurikira mfite abana bajya kuri 3 bose dushobora gukorana bose akaba namuhereza nk'ahantu kuri shanti akajya kubaka nk'ubwo ntusigare gutya ubakisha hano nkaba najya handi muri make ruvuga ngo umurage w'abanje bariga muri za secondaire ariko bakakurikira n'iby'ubwubatsi
ese wifuza kuba wenda warakoze ka formation karengeje kusanganywe kuko wenda warashoboye kujya mu mahanga ukajya kwiga noneho iby'ubwubatsi birengeje ibyo usanzwe uzi cyangwa se wumva ibyo uzi bihagije nta kintu ukeneye kongeraho
byaba ngombwa ko mbonye inkunga nkajya kwihugura byaba byiza kuvuga ngo warekeraho ntabwo ari byiza kuko urumva niba etage ya niveau 12 giye maze kubaka etage ya niveau 3 urumva kuba najya kwihugura ntabwo byaba ari byiza cyane
muri Kigali biraboneka bihagije ku buryo wavuga uti nahagarira ahangaha cyangwa wumva wakwagura ukajya no mu bindi bice by'igihugu ko waza uvuga mu Ruhengeri mu kanya ese wumva wagera no na Rusizi wagera na
ahantu hose niyo washaka ukanjyana i Burundi gipfa kuba niyo wanjyana no hanze y'igihugu pfa kuba arakazi ntabwo mvuga ngo ngume Kigali ku Kigali akazi kabari gakunda kuboneka gake aho wanjyana hose biterwa n'akazi naba mbonye
wivanye wowe wibagirweho gato tekereza no abandi bubatsi abandi bubaka ese wumva inzitizi ibibazo cyane mugenda muhura nabyo imbogamizi bagenda bahura nazo ni nk'izi
imbogamizi rimwe na rimwe iyo udafite nk'amafaranga kuri konte hari igihe bakubwira bati kubaka inzu mugapatana nka miliyoni 10 bakagwa nka avance de mariage ya miliyoni 3 bagura ngo tuzojya kuguha ndi ugeza niyo mpamvu mva baba engineer bapatana akazi biraka bakabita cyangwa kubaka nabi noneho udafite amafaranga yawe kuri konte noneho hahandi wavuze ugira na kontra na wundi iyo amafaranga gushiranye udafite ni ngo wongereho akazura gahagarika wagahagarika ari gukabutaya akazi k'umuntu cyangwa se bigatuma mbese avuga ati dusesa amasezerano kuko ibyo twavuye se ko wabyubahirije ubwo rero akenshi bifite ikintu kigutera inkunga ukaba ufite ubushobozi bwawe ibyo usabwa byose urabikora bikagenda neza
Louis ibintu ukora ni ngombwa cyane turagushima turashima n'uwo muravu gikorana nubwo tuzi ko ari inzitizi kandi nkaba nkwifuriza kugera kuri byinshi nyuma yanga urakoze cyane Louis
murakoze namwe
You're watching Rise and Shine Rwanda. We'll be right back after the break.
Here is to traveling and saving. Starting 1st of April to the 1st of June, travel with Rwanda and take advantage of our reduced fares and enjoy our world-class services in great comfort and safety.
Fly our dream to the heart of Africa.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine Rwanda. Let's get to today's money. Fidelis Karangwa has the business details.
Business stories making us today. Small and medium enterprises could soon find it easier to access funding following plans by Credit Rwanda to double its funding to the sector. Officials from the firm say they will extend about 4 million euros in loans to SMEs and agribusinesses, up from 2 million euros that they were currently loaning. This funding is aimed at supporting poverty reduction efforts to improve people's income in the country. The Development Bank of Rwanda will extend over 60 billion Rwandan francs worth of long-term credit to the private sector this year. Following the formation and sale of BRD's commercial bank to Atlas Mara last year, the bank ceased deposit-taking services to focus on lending to key sectors of the economy like agriculture, affordable housing and energy, and unlike other commercial banks, BRD plans to lend private sector firms with projects in the priority sectors at affordable rates of 12 to 16% every year. It is expected that this will help the private sector to develop and become more competitive in the region. And Rwanda's export base and revenue could soon increase following the country's decision to export Irish potatoes to countries like Zambia and South Sudan. The Minister of Trade and Industry, Mr. Francois Kanimba, said farmers must double their efforts to satisfy the growing local and regional demand for Irish potatoes and ensure quality along the value chain, as this will help them to benefit more from their efforts. He also added that the government and private sector will soon set a wholesale market for Irish potatoes in Kigali to ease market access for farmers.
All right, so what do you have for us for the rest of the week?
Well, it's funny that I just did a report on engineers this week because I also have something to do with, construction in Rwanda. So I'll be looking at the development of infrastructure in Rwanda and how it's helping people to get so many jobs, from engineers like you did, to Kenkaya His, for example, and all these other people who are in the construction business. So really good stuff this week.
Always good stuff.
Yes.
Always good stuff.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Well, you're up to date today's business headlines. Post news coming up next in just a minute with Ono Kwizera.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine Rwanda. Time now for your sports news. Arnold Quizeda. Starting with boxing, Floyd Mayweather will go down in history as the best fighter of his generation after securing another win, this time over arch-rival Manny Pacquiao over the weekend. The American now holds a 48-0 win record after winning by split decision in boxing's richest past fight in Las Vegas. The Money Man scored 116-112 twice and 118-110 according to the judges in a match that some feel didn't live up to the hype. In basketball, Chris Paul had 27 points and 6 assists as he led the Los Angeles Clippers to the semifinals of the Western Conference playoffs with a win over the San Antonio Spurs. With the series tied at 3-all, the Clippers used their home court advantage to register a 111-109 victory over the defending champions. Paul pulled away mid-range with a mid-range jumper to edge the Clippers ahead with 5 seconds of regular time to go. Despite all eyes being focused on the upcoming Kwibuka Genocide Memorial Tournament, women's cricket returned over the weekend with a VR Naidu T20 tournament. Fawe girls cricket teammate preferred to stick to the schools league after being given a masterclass beating by Victory Cricket Club over the weekend. After having taken a 3-week hiatus following repairs on the Kichuchiro Cricket Oval, the VR Naidu T20 tournament returned, but fans were greeted with 2 contrasting displays from a team considered favourites for the title. Fawe were limited to just over 50 runs in 20 overs after Victory put on a commanding performance from their bowlers Diane and Ketia Uwamahoro. Top order batswomen Ketia and Claudine put up a comfortable display to chase their desired target in 4 overs for a 10-wicket victory.
Umukino wari umeze neza cyane ko bwa mbere twabanjije gutinya tuvuga ngo turi bakeya nago turi bwuzura abakinnyi ariko nyuma twaje kuzura twumva ko byose biri bushoboke so umukino muri make wari umeze neza.
The youngsters will look at this season as a lesson, especially with this year's schools tournament around the corner.
N'ubwa mbere dukinnye ntabwo bino twari tubimenyereye twatsindwa ariko twabonye nyine uko wenda abandi babigenza natwe utaha ariko tuzabikora.
With some of the national stars in action over the weekend, attention will turn to the national side that is in camp for the 2014 Kwibuka Tri-Series with Uganda and Kenya next weekend. Arnold Quizera, Rise and Shine, Rwanda.
All right, Arnold, when it comes to cricket in Rwanda, especially female cricket, where do you think we are right now, and where do you think compared to East Africa and Africa we are?
I think when you compare us to East Africa, we are still babies when it comes to
We're
cricket.
still lagging behind.
Yeah, especially with the kind of infrastructure the likes of Kenya and Uganda have in place. These are countries which you would say are traditional cricket powerhouses on the continent, having played this game for more than 50 years, 60 years, ever since there was the migrants, the Indian coolies came to build the Kenyan-Ugandan railway line. But you feel Rwanda is picking up now. You can see they have a new wicket at the Kichuchiro Cricket Oval. Tournaments like the VR Naidu T20 are going to help spur the game. The National League now, if a team like Fawe Girls, which is a schools team, can try to compete with the senior teams like Victory Cricket Club, like Charity Cricket Club, and not put up a very good performance, but show up. These kids will gain a lot from the experience of playing, against people who are better and older than them, because on average age they're about 15, 16-year-olds, 14. You even have some 11-year-olds in there, and you feel now like a game like that one that was over the weekend, the experience the likes of Ketia have, Claudine, Diane, is not at the level of the young Fawe girls, and they beat them in a very comprehensive fashion.
All right. Now, the story of the week this past week was Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather. Everybody's been winning on this since 2009. It had been 5 years running. Finally ended up fighting. Did he live up to the hype?
No, I think it really showed that this fight, we were supposed to have this fight 5 years ago. Floyd Mayweather promised to come out punching in this fight. He did not. He did not. He played his traditional style. He's a master of the game. He understands the game. I personally everyone knew I was gunning for Manny Pacquiao for this game, but Floyd Mayweather is a masterclass. He is the best fighter in the world, and he proved that again. The way he studies and conditions himself in the ring. This is a man who dedicates himself to boxing 15 times. You know, he spends an average of 15 hours in the boxing ring, in the gym, every day. You know, he works hard for this. And Pacquiao came out gun blazing. You know, he tried to do the mid shots. He tried to hit Floyd Mayweather low, but Mayweather had the advantage of the reach, and Pacquiao couldn't easily get closer to him. You felt in about the 4th, 5th, 6th rounds, Pacquiao tried to get into the contest, and you felt he won about those rounds. The judges' scores, some people don't agree with them. People say, some experts are saying maybe it could have been a tie, or Mayweather could have won it, you know, by a short age, because it was a fight that kept us awake. And
we regret staying awake.
Yeah, I could have rather watched the highlights of this one.
Right. While that was happening, there was another game that took place a few hours before that. Actually, that was the San Antonio Spurs versus the LA Clippers. Now, the Spurs are one of my 2 favorite teams. We've documented it here on the show with Stir pretty well, and I'm sad to see them go. But at the same time, I understand that, you know, the tides are changing, and the Clippers really showed me a lot of poise. And down the stretch, because it was a gimme game. At the end of the game, anyone could have won that game, and it was a 1-possession game till the end. The lead changed many times, but then Chris Paul emerged, because he's been a superstar for so long.
People have been showing that, talking about Chris Paul showing up in the playoffs. He has not been doing that for some time. I didn't watch the game, though I got the stats after the game.
He's the best point guard of his generation.
Yeah.
But he's still...
I think we saw 2 different generations of point guards. In Tony Parker, it really showed Tony Parker is fading away.
Right.
When you look at the numbers he put up in this series, but never rule anything out of this past team. They can come back next year and shock us.
Oh yeah, that can actually happen, but especially when you have Kawhi Leonard and Patty Mills.
I think they need to build around the 2, Leonard and Patty Mills.
Absolutely. But the way I look at it now, the Clippers can go really far. It's all going to depend on Chris Paul's health, because we know what happened yesterday. And at the same time, DeAndre Jordan and Blake Griffin have to find a way to stay out of foul trouble, because they find themselves... Yesterday, Blake Griffin had 3 fouls in the first half. Yep. You cannot do that playing against Memphis. You cannot do that playing against Houston. So they're going to have to limit their fouls.
Yeah, and I think going forward, DeAndre Jordan must step up. First of all, he's from the line, he's free shooting. You know, people are going to foul him intentionally because he makes about 5 out of 17 free throws, which is outrageous. Those are outrageous numbers. You know, when you put up such numbers against Dwight Howard and James Harden in the next round, I think James Harden is going to come out guns blazing against Chris Paul. It's going to be an interesting matchup for the semifinals.
Absolutely. Who do you think is going to win that series? And then, you know, reverting to the East, we have a classic coming up, and I hope it lives up to expectations, because I don't know if it's going to duplicate. To me, so far, Clippers Spurs has been the best series we've had in the playoffs this year, or even for a long time. So I don't know if Cleveland and Chicago can replicate that, because we know they have the talent.
I think it's going to be a hard game. Cleveland are going to definitely miss Kevin Love, the way he spreads that ball. They even the suspension of J.R. Smith may play a part in that
the first 2 games.
Yeah,
right.
And you feel, because the 17, 16 points Kevin Love gives them, I don't think Champagne can come up and give them a similar number of points going on against the Chicago Bulls. Derrick Rose looks like
the Bulls are healthy. The Bulls are healthy. This is my favorite team in the NBA, but I've had my heart broken so many times because of injuries. You know, Taj Gibson, Joakim Noah, Derrick Rose, and now they have a team. They're on a mission. They have contribution. We knew they were
and I think they have what you would call the find of the season in Jimmy Butler.
No one expected him to blossom, become an all-star, first of all, and become the offensive leader. If you think about it, it's him and Paul Gasol. But now Derrick Rose can take a step back, and he doesn't have to dominate
They have
anymore.
about 4 players. You have 2 defensive giants in Joakim Noah and Paul Gasol.
Right.
And then you have 2 offensive masterclass. I think,
and Gasol is scoring more than 20.
Yeah, Paul Gasol is, I think, the best center in the NBA right now, offensively and defensively combined. He is the best center. I think it's between him and his brother.
Tom Thibodeau Tom Thibodeau, what he did is he always, built his team around defense because defense wins championships. But now he also has the offense. So I don't know what's going to happen with Cleveland because they have two of the most explosive players we have in the league right now in LeBron and Kyrie Irving. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be the little things. I mean, when you think about it, Iman Shumpert, J.R. Smith coming back after his suspension.
I think experience will play a big hand in this game, especially that Cleveland don't have the playoffs experience. When you look at Kyrie, he has never been at this stage in his life.
Cleveland has experience on the bench, not in the starting lineup.
Not in the starting lineup.
Sean Marion and James
Shumpert
Jones.
And,
right.
Yeah, but you feel somewhere it's going to be a close one. It will go about 55-45. I will put my money on the Bulls to win
that's what Charles Barkley was saying the other day on Inside the NBA. I don't know. What do you think is going to happen between the Clippers and the Rockets?
I'll go with the Rockets. Clippers are so unpredictable, and the Rockets just need to get one home. They have the home court advantage going into this series. No, I think Clippers. Yeah, Houston Rockets have the home court advantage going into this series, and I think the Rockets will edge this in 7.
Memphis Golden State Warriors.
That's another hard one. Golden State.
You think Golden State? You don't think the size of Memphis is a problem?
The size of Memphis is a problem, and they play like a playoff team.
And then Mike Conley is coming into his own. Watch out.
I think it's going to be a hard game.
I mean, they got Vince Carter dunking like it's 2001.
Yeah, it's
unbelievable.
Golden State.
Arnold, thank you so much. You're watching Rise and Shine. Rwanda, Makira and I will be right back after the break.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine Rwanda. Let's take a look now at news-making headlines here in Rwanda and around the world.
Ambassadors and High Commissioners of the European Union accredited to Rwanda have hailed reforms that the local media has undergone in the past 2 years. This comes as the media practitioners marked World Press Freedom Day yesterday. The reforms include the establishment of the Rwanda Media Commission, the enactment of access to information laws, and the amendment of the media law. Worldwide, the 2015 World Press Freedom Day is marked under the theme Let Journalists Thrive towards better reporting, gender equality, and media safety in the digital age.
Over 4 million Rwandan youth are slated to participate in various outreach programs across the country during the 3rd annual National Youth Connect Month, which kicked off yesterday. Youth Connect Month was organized by the Ministry of Youth and ICT in collaboration with various stakeholders, and the activities will be the youth's effort towards transforming the socioeconomic status of the country. This year's theme for the event is We Choose to Be the Foundation of the Country's Development.
Regional and international leaders have been urged to engage Burundi to restore calm. This was said by the Secretary General of the East African Community, Dr. Richard Sezibera, in a statement released last week. Sezibera said that the Secretariat wishes the people of Burundi free, fair, and peaceful elections and called upon all friends of Burundi to offer their support for the success of the electoral process.
And in international news, it's reported that nearly 3,700 migrants were rescued off Libya on Saturday and early Sunday. The migrants were picked up from wooden and inflatable boats in 17 separate operations by Italian and French ships and are now being taken to Italy. According to the Italian Coast Guard, the rescue operations are continuing. At least 1,750 people have died this year trying to cross the Mediterranean, 20 times more than the 96 people that died during the same period last year in 2014. Many more migrants are expected to make the crossing in the coming weeks as smugglers take advantage of calmer weather. Okay, lots more still to come. We have lifestyle up next, plus we take a look at what's hot right now in our daily debate section, Hot Topics. We'll be right back.
Here is to traveling and saving. Starting 1st of April to the 1st of June, travel with Rwanda and take advantage of our reduced fares and enjoy our world-class services in great comfort and safety.
Fly our dream to the heart of Africa.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine Rwanda. Lifestyle now. Makeda, what do you have for us?
Actually, Fidelis, what do you have for us?
Oh.
Well, like you see, I'm trying to take over lifestyle.
Oh yeah, I see that.
Anyway, main point is in my fitness plan to get all of us fit, today we're going to learn about running. So I know I'm a terrible runner, so I'm hoping that we can all
So she's also
learn
doing
something
sports.
today.
She's taking everybody's job.
I don't mind her taking over this part.
Hey, the money.
Yeah. Well, we see people running all the time along the streets of Kigali, and if you're like me, then running has always been a dream that you've given up on and you don't even think about it. Well, in today's Motivation Monday, we're going to change this as Dennis takes us through the basic steps to becoming a runner. Take a look.
I decided to invite you outside today because this is actually one of my favorite places in Kigali. And yes, I'm all for fitness inside in our gym, but I'm an even bigger fan of actually doing what seems right to you. So for instance, I love running. So this is an area where every night when I come here, there will be 20, 30, 40 people running around this roundabout. And we're in Kimihurura now. And also you can see like it's almost evening because it's no longer hot. So it's a perfect place to exercise, go for a walk with your husband, your wife, your friends, or whatever. No matter what, this is a beautiful place, and I really encourage everybody to come here and exercise. Now we're talking to those of you who has never really run before, but who are interested in running. We're going to talk about overall interval training. Interval training means that instead of running for a long period of time or a long distance without a break, and also doing at the same pace, we are going to do where you either run for a shorter period of time at a faster pace, and then a shorter period of time at a lower pace, right? So I just want to show you the basics of interval training if you have never run before. So as you see here, you see there is a light. So what I would do if I'd never run before is I would say, okay, I will run until that light, and after that I would walk a distance that is equally from here to there, okay? So I'll just show you briefly.
Like any beginner at a new workout, running may seem difficult the first time you try it. But by incorporating interval training into your workout, it helps you to build your strength, speed, endurance, and efficiency at the sport. Some people, however, may experience cramps when running, and word has it all comes down to better breathing techniques when running. But is that the case?
There is a difference. You do absorb oxygen better when you breathe through your nose than doing through your mouth, right? So you breathe in and then out through your mouth. So that does make a difference. Is it something I would say it is really, really necessary to do? No, not at all. Only if you have like an issue, then you can start changing your way of breathing, I would say.
And even for Dennis, who I believe to be a superhero at working out, he was out of breath at the end of his interval running workout. But for everyone who likes to push themselves just a bit harder, incorporating exercises like burpees, squats, side lunges, and high knee jump exercises into your running routine will not only help you to burn more calories, but will get you in a better shape very quickly. So there you have it, an easy way to get yourself marathon ready in no time. Karangwa Fidelis, Rise and Shine Rwanda.
Okay, some running tips.
Yeah.
So we see Dennis running there. Did you?
See, I had first learned, then after I've learned and I've gotten really good, I will show you my running techniques too. I don't want to look bad on TV.
But
sorry.
But isn't that the point of the video? You know,
No.
No one
Well,
looks bad. There's no.
That day in particular wasn't running ready, so we just had to use Dennis as our model. But I got you. Now that you've asked for it, I have to give the fans what they want.
So during your fitness challenge, have you been running a lot?
Yeah, actually, and it started slowly, like you said, interval running, where we would do maybe 2 minutes of running, then 1 minute just walking like really fast. Because then you get to rest, but at the same time you're actually still running and you're burning the same amount of calories. And slowly, as time goes by, the more you get used to it, then you could add a bit more minutes. So if you were doing 2 minutes of running and 1 minute of walking, then you can go to 4 minutes of running and 1 minute of walking. So slowly, as you get used to it, you just go on adding a few more minutes to your running routine, and then eventually you get there and you can go 30 minutes straight running and you have no problem.
You know, I love today's tips because I've always wanted to run because I've heard that, running is like one of the the full body exercises that
Exactly.
really works the fastest. I
Exactly.
think that and swimming.
Yeah.
And I hear that, it like really gets your heartbeat going, and that's kind of what gets you nice and toned up and ready to go. But the thing is, it's so hard to get into it. I've never been told or heard about this thing of just, running for just a few meters, walking for the same amount. I didn't know that you could start that slow. If
You
I had
actually
known, I
can.
would
You can even be slower than that. I mean, like for my case, because I've never been a runner before, I used to do like 1 minute of running and then like 4 minutes of walking. But then the more I did it, then I got more confident, I got more energetic, and now I can go for like a good 5 minutes, 6 minutes straight of running, and then I take a 1 minute break, and I still feel good, and it's not a problem.
So is there anything that people should know, any precautions that people should take so that they don't hurt themselves or anything like that?
I think with running, just the same as anything else, you can push yourself, but not too hard. If you feel your body just screaming, just take a break, then just do it, because no one wants you to pass out or anything. And then again, like he said, it's also really good to incorporate some other exercises when you're running. As soon as you get used to it, or as soon as you feel confident, you could, like he said, you could try burpees and all these things, because as much as when you're running, you're working out your whole body. If you want some particular parts of your body to become even more toned, then you could, you can do squats to have like your middle part a bit more toned. If you do lunges and all these things, then your legs become toned. So these are all these different exercises that we've already talked about in the show before, but you could throw in a couple of them while you're running. So when you're taking a 1 minute break, instead of just standing, you could do lunges, you could do squats, and you're resting but still staying active, and it's really good for your body.
So since you've been doing your fitness challenge and you've been working out quite a bit, I always see when I go to the gym or when I go to different places that whenever people first go in, they always just go straight to the treadmill and they start with a small run, and then they go into doing their exercises and stuff like that. Is that a good way to always start your workout?
Yeah, it's a great way actually, because you're not only getting your body warm and ready, but you're telling your body, let's get into this. So it's as soon as you start running, then it will start producing more red blood cells, and the oxygen is getting to your system, and now basically your whole body is getting awake and ready for action. So it's a really good way to start. And normally, like what I do in my routines, I normally do like 10 minutes or 8 minutes of running before I do any other exercises, and I have to say it really helps. It helps you wake up, basically. Your body just gets ready.
I always see runners stretching, okay? And I never really understood it, because I know when you do weights and stuff like that, you feel the pain, and then when you stretch, it kind of helps your muscles and things like that. But with running, I mean, I've run before and I haven't stretched and I haven't died. So what exactly does the stretching do when you run?
Everyone just has their own way of doing things, like I said. So some people feel like stretching gets them ready for the run. Some people would rather just run and then do the stretch at the end to relax their body. So it just depends on what you prefer, really, and what your body, asks you and what you're used to. So it all depends on you, really.
Well, I think I might try a little running.
We should do a bit of running.
Yeah, I think so. You know
Deal.
what? I'm down for that. I'm down for that.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you very much.
welcome.
And you don't go anywhere, because Hot Topics is coming up next.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine Rwanda, and it's that Hot Topics time again. As always, the Rise and Shine Rwanda team have been out and about, gathering everything you need to know about what's happening here and abroad, from what's trending on Twitter to the debates in your local cafe. We've got it for you right here, right now. All right, guys, so let's start with something that's dear to my heart. I'm an Arsenal fan, and I love seeing how very giving us Arsenal fans are. So over the weekend, some Arsenal fans actually went to Nyanza, to the Nyanza commemoration, what do you call it?
Genocide Memorial.
Genocide Memorial, sorry. And paid homage to those we lost in 1994 in Nyanza, but they also after that went to Kavumu and went to Busasamana, so those who know the Rwandan geography will know exactly where that is. And what I like is seeing young men and women, vibrant, wearing Arsenal jerseys, and must I add that our number one citizen is an Arsenal fan? Should I say that, Arnold? Do you want to hear that? Yes.
Okay, what I love to see is in general, just young people who have a common interest and they decide to come together and kind of form a group and do things like this. I always love when people join clubs on their own accord. You
Absolutely, Makeda. And Arnold will tell you that this is what sports does. It unites people. There's unity. And then you can see they're doing, it's a noble cause. Of course, they have, a penchant towards Arsenal, but it's a noble cause, and it could have been, players from any other team. I'm just being, an Arsenal fan. But
I'm impressed by how many women are in the fan club.
You are
Personally.
impressed?
I am. I really am.
That's amazing,
it's really
right?
good.
Arsenal has a lot of
It's really good.
Do you want your team support?
No,
Liverpool?
no, thank you. Because I don't think I'll be dedicated like that. I'm
No?
not a football person, so.
Yeah, but Liverpool has some class.
Maybe when I do it on Motivation Monday someday about football.
All right, I got a question for all you three. Who stayed up the night of Saturday to yesterday to watch Manny Pacquiao versus Mayweather?
After all of the hype that Arnold gave this fight over the months, of course, I had to do it. I had to.
Well, I was like this close. I really tried. And then I got some points.
What do you mean? There's
wait,
such a thing
I
as
was
this.
like, why am I doing this again? Then I went to bed and slept. So.
Wow.
But I tried. I actually
At what time
tried.
did you go to bed?
Like at 1.
That's not even close. That's like 4 hours.
I was like,
tried.
something this big cannot be happening, and I don't watch it myself just to see what everyone in the world is talking about. It was trending all over the place. Even the people who were hating on it were still talking about it. Even the people who were saying that they're too good to watch it were still tweeting and Facebooking about it. So I had to stay up and watch it. But I have to say, and don't hate me, anyone, but it was so boring that I was like so disappointed after.
No, do you mean it was boring from...
It's the same thing for
It was
everybody.
a boring fight.
Yeah, like everyone... Like
No, I agree.
work
It was a
out the
very
same
boring fight, especially since it's something everybody's been waiting on for 5 years, which is why there was all this hoopla.
It was
and-
People
exciting
paid
at first.
$700,000
Right.
for a ticket.
Those are rich people.
We don't have the same problem.
It was exciting at first, I have to say, because I was thinking, it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. There's gonna be a climax at some point, but I just didn't feel that there was a climax, and I thought maybe it's because I'm not a fan of boxing or anything like that, and I was looking for something that maybe wasn't there.
Maybe the celebrities' faces in the crowd did it for you.
Oh please, no. So I just kind
Jamie
of
Foxx
felt.
singing the national anthem.
No, I didn't. No.
He did not do a good rendition. I was surprised because
No,
he has
I
a
feel
great
like
voice.
everyone... I am actually glad I didn't stay up for it because everyone was complaining it wasn't as good as they thought it would be.
It was not.
But what I did, the thing that I did like about it, I didn't like that everyone stayed up for this thing that was so anticlimactic, but I did like that everyone was, talking about it. There were so many people who were together in different places, and just spending time together, even though it was, moaning about this fight. It was still people who were kept coming together, having debates, chatting, and, having a good time, and it showed that people can actually get up for something or stay awake for something, and
And so there were two ways of approaching the fight. Some went to bed at like 9 p.m. to wake up at 4, and then you have others who stayed up the entire time, and I'm part of those. And as just said, that was a
group as well.
Oh, it was tough. It was a bit tough.
I had coffee around 10 p.m., which is something I've never done. I never even have coffee after 1 because I get so wide. But I had coffee and I was ready to go. I was, it wasn't actually as hard as I thought that it would be.
What do you guys do when there's this kind of thing? Because this happens like once, the Olympics, maybe a huge game, the World Cup, the final. Do you guys rather watch it at home, order the channel, or do you go to a bar and watch it there?
I like going and watching it with other people.
Yeah.
I think it's more fun.
It's a fun
I think
way
any
to do.
social aspect will be
Yeah, if
more
I was at
fun.
home, I would have fallen asleep. It's just not.
Like me, guilty.
I think next time we should throw a party, like a pre-party to the thing, in anticipation, so that Fidelis doesn't.
Maybe I'll stay up. Thank you.
I'm taking her along for the Champions League night, so.
Oh, all right.
You try. Let's do this.
At least we can agree on one thing: Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather was a hot topic.
And oh yeah, for sure. And they're both rich, and we still have our.
We still talk about them.
Purses, our own purses. They have their purses, we have ours. So who's the real winner is the question.
Exactly.
But anyways, I think that's it for Hot Topics
That's it
today.
for Hot Topics.
Well, don't forget that we love to hear your thoughts, comments, and feedback on what we're talking about here on Rise and Shine Rwanda. Tweet us at Rise and Shine RW. We're always looking out for your comments, good or bad. Like us on Facebook and send us ideas for programs, or tag us, or comment, or anything. Check out our Rise and Shine Rwanda YouTube page where you can catch all the shows and reports that we upload on a daily basis. Find us and follow us on Instagram, Rise and Shine RW. We're always posting behind the scenes photos. Or check out our Rise and Shine Rwanda website. That's all the time that we have for today, but we love to hear your feedback. So remember, do let us know if you have any idea for the program. You've been watching Rise and Shine Rwanda with me, Makeda Mahario.
And me, Regis Isheja, will be here same time, same place tomorrow. Please do join us then. But for now, from the both of us, this beautiful team here, have a great day and a great week.
And a great month.
Right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.